plate the arbiter for it. So we try to cut it off just so we can start working on football instead of working on the actual administration side. So this year, probably tonight's probably our now. Our dues are open online till the end of the month. And I think the states is over
September the 9th.
Yeah, September the 9th. So we probably should piggyback off of that date. I didn't know the date whenever I set up the registration, so we just can't call without paying both registrations. Anybody else have any questions before we go further?
That's 3 weeks after the season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you pay, if you go all the way to if we even allowed our members to go that late, you're maybe starting around week 4 or 5, if that. So that's why we try to start so early and get all this administration out of the way. So, anyway, go beat that one. All right, financial moment, Mr. Rick.
Just a little quick update on where we are financially. Right now we have receivables that are out for $178,069.50. That's what we've got that have been invoiced to the schools but haven't been received yet. Bank account balance as of this morning was $43,624.81, and we had $1,366 in arbiter pay account. That gives us a total of $223,060. And if I'm remembering correctly, that's about what the budget called for, give or take a few, because we had some games dropped and some games added and some officials dropped. So that's about what our budget called for. Any questions on anything money-wise? Like Jeff said, make sure your arbiter pay is ready to go. Next Saturday morning.
Thanks, Rick. Do you have any questions before we go forward? What did you say the receivables were?
Weren't you paying attention?
I was listening to it.
$178,069.
$178,000. We don't get that paid. We got to start doing dollars for dollars, guys. Start what? We got to start dollars for dollars. Because it sounds like we only have enough money to about run the first 2 weeks, and that's about it. So we definitely need to start down for dollars. So, do you have any questions before we go forward? Like I said from the very beginning, we're going to try to have periodic financial moments so we can at least keep everybody abreast of what's going on. We haven't had it in the past, and we want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with the numbers and understands them. There'll be other ones down the road, but if you ever have a question with it, ask Rick, ask myself, whatever you want, whoever. Just we need to start at. If you're not comfortable with the numbers, you need to let us know. Scrimmages. We went from good news to
Phone's
bad
been
news.
burning, gentlemen. Everybody's calling late. I'll do this one last, because I have a feeling I'll be calling him. Daphne High School, Thursday at 5 o'clock. I have 2 people going right now, Tim Dees and DeJuan Jackson. Is there any people that like to go? I can't hear him.
Ted Bowers.
Ted Bowers, okay.
Zach Hood said he's going. Zach, you going? Yeah, I'm listening.
Who's that? Zach? Okay. I need at least 2 more.
Zach, I thought you were going to go short.
That's right.
That's Friday. Okay, good.
Well, look at your schedule. We need 2 more for Thursday. Let's see. UMS is good. Spanish Fort is good. Mobile Christian, I need 1 person at 3:30 on a Friday.
This Friday?
All right, Aiden. I need an umpire.
All of them this Thursday.
He usually runs about an hour. Killing Jim. Okay, Tim, you go. Okay. Okay, that should do it there. All right. Gill's good. Viger, really good. I appreciate everybody wants to go to Viger. I really do. It helped. Chickasaw is packed.
Y'all are eating too.
Yeah, I just told him how many. So he's supposed to be cooking ribs. That's what he told me earlier. So
Excuse me, where's that? What time is that?
it's at T.R. Miller. Let me know what happened when you get there. Let's see. Gulf Shores is good, and then we've got the everything in Robertsville for Central Ball. Now, got a phone call yesterday, or Jeff did. Blunt. Thursday. Mark. He changed it from 5 o'clock to 1:30.
Friday.
Yeah, you got on here Thursday.
I know, he changed it from.
Oh, he changed it to
changed it
Friday.
from- I was driving in, he changed it from 5 o'clock Thursday
To 1:30 Friday. Y'all can still moan and groan. Man, you're gonna be all by yourself, I think. Okay? All right. Well, if I don't get any more, we send an email out. If I don't get any more, I'm gonna call him. Say,
You can't send it for
we can't send. What's that? Yeah, 1:30 is, and I've always told them, we work. Everybody's got jobs. That's your job, and so you're at the school, and you can do it at 1:30. But, you know, all of us have jobs, so, and I understand. And so if I don't get anybody, I'm going to call them and say, I apologize, but we can't fulfill that scrimmage on changing it at that time, okay? Other than that, everything looks good. Appreciate it very much.
JV dress on those. JV dress and all these?
Yes, JV dress. While you're there, put your arm around the coach. Say, hey, coach, let me put a bug in your ear. Ball boys. Start talking to them about the ball boys. Start talking to them about keeping them off the field. What do they feel? How do they feel about that? You know, kind of get a consensus while you're out there, and give me or Rick or Jeff a call and say, hey, the coach, hey, he likes it. So I'll tell the referee that's going, hey, they're with us and they want to keep the ball boys off the field. And then you're going to get some that's going to say, no, we're going to have our ball boy. Do we need to know that so that referee is not blindsided? Okay, with that. All right? Thank you.
Anything else we move forward? All right, a training moment. I know Tim wanted a few seconds before training hit, so you're welcome to it. Stage is yours.
Guys, we got a good meeting going. I don't mean to be a somber moment here, but Eddie Carr is not doing well. I think most of you saw him this past Saturday, and he did not look good. Natasha called me yesterday. They're going to try to have a birthday party for him this coming Friday at 6 o'clock up 225 where he lives at Lower Bryant Landing. My wife and I are going to go. I know we have a lot of scrimmages, and I know Eddie would be the first to tell you, go to a scrimmage, don't come to my birthday party. But if any of you can make it, would you let me know? I need to get her a head count. If you and your spouse can go, or you can go by yourself, if you can come up there after if you got an early scrimmage and you can run up there and Disney. Guys, if I were, and Almighty God's in charge, I understand that, but I don't think Eddie was just not doing well. He lost 9 pounds in the last week, and he didn't weigh but 100 pounds to begin with. They're going to, she texted me today and said that he slept all day after shot business. Well, hell, we'd all sleep all day after shot business. So that's what I texted her back. She gave me some smiley faces. But anyway, they're supposed to go to Pensacola tomorrow morning to find out why he's losing weight. And so anyway, just keep him in your prayer. If you can make his birthday party, I've got the directions to where it's going to be. It's at the pavilion right there at Lower Bryant Landing. Fairly easy to get to, just go straight up 225. Would you let me know in some way, form, or fashion before maybe noon tomorrow so I can give her a head count? I think they're going to boil some shrimp and do some crabs and corn and sausages and stuff like that. We just need a head count. If you know Eddie and you want to see him, I think you need to search your soul and go if you can. I hope everybody understands where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to put a somber moment on our group, but he's a dear friend of all of us, and if you can find any way to get there, I would. I know Natasha would appreciate it. Eddie would love seeing you. I'm not saying this would be the last time you see him, but guys, if you saw him Saturday, he does not look well at all. Yes, sir. Well, I think it's probably going to be a couple of hours, maybe, between 6 and 6:30, probably about 8 or 8:30. I don't think it's going to go much longer than that, because I know that Eddie can't sit around that long. I know his sister's going to be there, and she's doing a cake, and, I'm taking some food myself. You don't have to bring any food. Please don't feel obligated to. I'm just doing it because that's just what I want to do. But if you can find it in your heart to go up there and visit him, now would be a good time to go. Okay? Thank you, guys. Jeff, thank you. And hey, let me know by maybe noon tomorrow, and I'll give her a gift kit. If you can't go, that's fine, but if you can go, I really would appreciate you going and let me know how many of us come. Thank you, Jim. I'm sorry? I'm dead.
I won't take up but a couple minutes. Just two things. One, I got with Jeff a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the fact that so much important information that gets put out here for these meetings, and we got some people that have a hard time either making the meeting or job obligations or whatever. So I told Jeff, I said, what about maybe videoing the meeting, and you won't get credit for the meeting, but at least you could get it out there and you could watch it and see what transpired. So I've been doing that. It's on a YouTube channel. It's Mobile Metro Football Officials. I'll put the link to the page on Facebook. I think I put the first meeting I did was on there. I'm not a videographer. Don't claim to be. It's kind of new doing this. Come to find out, the phones, they like to cut you off after a certain amount of memory or whatever anyhow, so they're kind of part 1, part 2, part 3, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to try to do that. I'll try to get better at it and get that information uploaded in a timely manner. Second, referees, I do also have to present in our meeting, and there's an executive meeting after this that I have to attend, so bear with me. I'll try to get over there just as quickly as I can. So this week, Tim asked me to talk about sideline management. Obviously, it's going to be heavily discussed, definitely, I'm sure, in the wings and the deep wings. But Tim just wanted to talk about a couple things just real quick. Definitely want to reference the email that Mark Jones sent out on 8/11/19, talking about starting in the back of the white, so starting in the back of the restricted zone. That kind of tends to put the pressure, keeps them out of there, as opposed to them standing up in front of you. That should help. Referencing no more than 3 coaches in the box. Also talking about introducing yourself to the coach ahead of time. I know some crews last year even the referee grabbed some of the wing officials and went to that coach or both coaches introduced themselves, kind of established that relationship prior to the start of the game. That seemed to help out with the sideline issues as well. But if that doesn't happen, then you certainly, if you're going to be on the sideline, try to get over there. It's all about preventive officiating. We want to try to avoid interrupting the flow of the game with sideline warnings and so forth. Obviously, if you can't get it done, then we know we have tools at our disposal to take care of it, and that's going to be with the sideline warning to start with, followed by distance after that. Trying to think. As far as if you have to go that route, obviously I think almost every referee in here will tell you that they want it done sooner rather than later. I know on an evaluation I got one time that said, yeah, you did it, but it was we would have liked to have seen you give that warning a lot earlier in the game. Both the short and deep wing should be enforced in the restricted zone. So if you're going to set a wing crew and you've got a deep wing, both should be working together. Really, if you think about it, you got 2 guys over there, 2 ladies, guy and lady, 2 ladies, whoever's over there, starting in the back, being professional, being courteous, respectful. Those guys those coaches, they got a job to do. You don't need to get into a tussle with them about it, but please and thank you. I think Mark talked about that, being respectful. One other thing I'll leave you with is, and Tim had this conversation last night, was assistant coaches. So there's no rule that says we can't have conversations with assistant coaches. that there's been some talk in the past where maybe an official might say, well, I don't got to talk to you, you know, and like Tim alluded to, that assistant coach this year might be the head coach of a school that you like going to next year. Well, you may not be going to that school next year by the way you treated him the year before. So obviously, we know we're not supposed to be, you know, if the rule, you know, the general principle I think that Tim and I talked about was that the assistant comes to you with the question and comes to you in a professional, you know, respectful manner. There's no reason why you can't reach back out and give that coach the information that they're looking for to try to correct a problem that could be occurring with their kid. So there's, you know, some of these staffs got multiple coaches, and you know they all got a job to do on Friday night. You know, we know we have the haulers and the screamers, and we're not talking about those guys, but the guys that come up to you wanting to know, you know, hey, what just took place? Can you help me out and explain what just occurred? So that's all I got.
All right, that's really all the stuff we have for today's general meeting. If you have a second or two, stop by Craig. If you need anything, we're going to go to training meeting after that. But the people that were sent an email about staying for the executive meeting, would you please stay for a few minutes?